This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman TDK. Last episode we did everything in the Keldegrim area and were able to complete 4 quests and 3 achievement diaries for a total of 7 chunks added to our map. Those chunks were the Piscatores fishing colony, Yatizo, the chunk with the Chaos Fanatic in the wilderness, the eastern chunk of Weiss, the western chunk of the Corsair Cove, etc., and the Falconry chunk in the Piscatores region. It is finally time to do one of the most iconic quests, and that is Desert Treasure 1, because we have unlocked all of the chunks we actually need to do the entire quest. This quest takes us all over Gillenar, so that's why it took quite a while to actually get here. But to start the quest, let's have a talk to Osgarnia Smith at the Bedabin camp. Osgarnia Smith has found a tablet about a treasure here in the desert. The tablet was not complete, but it spoke about some diamonds that were protecting some kind of treasure. To find out more about that tablet, we'll have to go south of here to the bandit camp. The conversation with Ebelis is starting off quite interesting, as there is a children's story talking about the 4 diamonds of Azanandra, and apparently he's a great Majorat hero, but we've already dealt with a lot of Majorat and not many of them were good people. As the diamonds have a very strong magical potency, wherever they are, they actually leave some kind of residue behind. And that's why we've made some mystical mirrors with the help of Ebelis to actually be able to scry for those kinds of places. We've looked into the mirrors and we are going to start with the Smoke Diamond in the Smoky Well west of Polniv Niche. In the middle of the smoky dungeon we can find a chest and it says light the path and find the key. So let's see what else is in this dungeon. We can find some standing torches in every corner, so let's light them up like the inscription says and see what happens. There we go. That's the key obtained from the burnt chest. And I noticed there was a gate a bit further on that was closed, so the key will open that door. That's the gate opened, and then we find Farid. And we will have to kill him because Ebelis mentioned that because of the power of the diamonds, the people who own them actually embed them into themselves. So we pretty much do not have any other choice than kill them to actually get the diamonds. And there we go. That's our first diamond. Oh, it immediately gets into the inventory. So that's the first diamond obtained. 3 to go. The next mirror was showing something over here at the Baxtorian Falls, but seems like a very quiet place. So let's maybe ask some of the people around here, like Razzolo. It appears he knows about the diamond, and it's apparently the Shadow Diamond, as the fearsome warrior that is protecting it is called Damis and he lives in shadows. But he's invisible to prying eyes, so that's probably why we don't see anything here. Rassolo has something to actually help us with finding the Shadow Dungeon, and that's a Ring of Visibility. But in return, he wanted his Gilded Cross, as it was stolen from some kind of bandit in the bandit camp. It only took 3 tries to actually get it, so that was really nice to see. although our thieving level probably helped a lot there. But now that we have it back, we can actually trade it for that ring. And now if we wear the ring, we can actually see there is now a ladder that was not there previously. At the end of the dungeon, we can find Damis. Should not take long to take him out for the Shadow Diamond. There we go. Oh, wait. He still has another form. And then almost 2 full prayer potions later, there is the Shadow Diamond. 2 out of 4. 2 to go. The next mirror pointed to Kenneth's, and what better person to actually have a Diamond of Blood than a vampire? We have found one in the pub here, so let's talk to Malak. Malak knows who has the Diamond of Blood, and it is another vampire that he actually wants to see dead, as he wants to own the land that the Sioux, the vampire, actually has control over. So he agreed to give us the location of the vampire together with a way to actually kill the vampire, because that's not that easy. And there we go. We now have a pot that is blessed by Saradomin. If we add some garlic powder and some spice, we have everything we need to actually give to the Sioux. So he wakes up, drinks the blood, but it's blessed and has garlic in it. And then we will be able to kill him. We found the grave. Time to put our pot to the test. Let's pour it over the vampire tomb. And there's the Sioux. But this is a fairly easy fight if we just make sure that he cannot attack us, because we are changing our style every time, our overhead style. And there we go. As easy as a fight can be. But he did not drop the diamond. So let's return to Malak, as Malak seems to have told us a story that isn't true. Malak was the actual owner of the blood diamond, but pretty much used us to get rid of his competitor. But we have the blood diamond, so we don't really mind. 1 more diamond left to go. The last location that the mirrors gave us for the ice diamond is somewhere here in Trollheim. There is an ice gate, but there's also a troll child here, so let's have a talk to it to see if it knows anything. Apparently the owner of the ice diamond lost it, and the troll's child's parents found it, but because of that the owner was really unhappy with that and he froze them. So we made an agreement with the troll child that we would get the diamond if we save his parents. And there we find the big bad evil. Let's kill him with fire magic. There we go. That's camel down. Now to find the parents of the troll child. And that is where the chunk we did not have comes in. Let's unlock the ice pods and let's go and find those parents. At the very end of the path, we can find the troll father and the troll mother in some ice. Let's use some fire blasts to free them. Apparently, the troll child had the diamond, not the parents, but we saved them all the same. With saving the troll mother and the troll father, we will get our 4th and final diamond. With all 4 diamonds now in our possession, we went back to Eblis. And he mentions that because Azanandra was actually a Majorat and he's unkillable because of that, the people that wanted to get rid of him did not know what to do with him, so they took the power away with these diamonds and then locked them up in the pyramid just south of here. So what we are going to do is place the diamonds into the sockets to make sure that the pyramid opens up again, so Azanandra will be freed after this very long time. At the very bottom of the pyramid, after we entered it from above, we can find Azanandra, so let's have a talk and see if we can get a reward for freeing him. It seems that Azanandra was trapped here for a very long time. He talks about ancient cities that we have no knowledge of. So he has a lot to catch up on, but as a reward for freeing him, we get a gift of knowledge. and that knowledge is ancient magics. And with that, we have finished the iconic Desert Treasure 1 quest. We get 3 quest points, 20,000 magic experience, which did not really put a dent into our grind here to get to 90. But the most spectacular of all, we now have the ability to use ancient magics. This is going to be very useful, and I've already had a couple of places where it would have been very useful, but now we finally have it, and this just opens up a lot that we can do now because of this. All of these spells will be very useful in the future. We're currently 89, so we can pretty much use all of the spells except for Blood Barrage, where we are missing 3 levels and we are missing 5 levels for Ice Barrage. So in general, we are not really missing much to be able to utilize the entire spellbook. But for now, we are not really going to use it, so let's go back to the standard spellbook and let's maybe give Eblis the good news. Eblis is very happy that Azanandra is now free, and he offers us a staff for 80,000 GP. We currently don't have that much money on us, but we'll definitely come back to get that ancient scepter, as that is going to be very useful if you want to auto-cast ancient magics. But for now, we have completed the Desert Treasure 1 quest. A quest completion means another task completion, so let's complete it over at our dashboard, and then let's see what chunk we are going to unlock because of that. This quest was probably one of the longest waits to be able to do this one. There are still a couple of others that are actually harder or require more chunks than this one, but we have finally completed Desert Treasure 1, our 121st quest for our 387th chunk. And then back to the map we go. The last chunk we unlocked was the falconry part in the Biscatores region. It was one of the fairly solitary chunks, and we've been filling up the gaps quite nicely. There's not a lot left of the mainland. We are venturing out to all of the islands, and we still have a very big chunk left from the Isle of Souls. But for the rest, we are actually starting to see somewhere that we are nearing the end of this continent, and then we'll have to slowly go to the other continent. I think like half of these chunks are water chunks, so in general it's very possible that we roll another one of those, and it's also very possible that we pretty much roll a very good one here as well, because almost every landmass chunk gives us something to do. So let's see what we are going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Ah, okay. It's one of the not so good ones. Well, Fossil Island is good if we could actually get there. What I was saying about quests that require more chunks than the Desert Treasure quest, well, this is the one. If we go to, not Varlamore, here, the Woodcutting Guild. I'm not really sure which of the 2 chunks we need of the Woodcutting Guild, but that is necessary for the Bone Voyage quest, which unlocks the Fossil Island. So yeah, in general, we cannot get there. But as we are inching closer and closer to the Woodcutting Guild, it might not be that far in the future that we will do the Bone Voyage quest and get to Fossil Island. Now that we've completed Desert Treasure 1, we are now opening up quite a few things we can do. One of the things that we need a Desert Treasure for is the Heart Diary for the Varrock area. The one thing I'm just not sure of is the kudos. We need 153 kudos to be able to actually do this, so I'm going to have to check if we can actually get there after maybe some quests we have completed, so let's check. This is for the Making History quest, which gives us 5 more kudos and the lamp. Nice. So only 6 more to go. This is another quest in Ardoin, the Hozil Cult, which gives us another 5, which means we are missing 1 kudo. But if we look at our collection log, at Kamdozal, we are missing the ancient carcanet. If we give that to someone over here, we will be 153. So that will be perfect to do the entire Varrock diary. So let's get our asses back to Kamdozal and get that ancient arcanet from the mining we need to do there. Oh yeah, right. And the lamp is of course going to be a herblore lamp. 1000 experience. It's something I guess, but I've already been training a bit and now we're just 400 XP away, which is very, very close. Hey! Okay, that was fast. Second inventory of the Baronite deposits, and we got it. That now also means that if we look to our collection log, Kamdozal is green. 10 out of 10. Let's now gather everything we need and let's do the hard Varrock diary. Alright, let's give Curator Craig Halen the ancient carcanet. And that's the 1 kudo we need for the 153. And now because we have the 153 kudos, if we talk to Orlando Smith, we have completed a hard task in the Varrock area. While we are here, we might as well also go to the information clerk. Because we have reached 151 museum kudos, we will get some nice experience in prayer, mining, crafting, smithing, slayer and hunter, which is quite a lot of skills. So yes, I want all of that experience. 4000 and everything. Nice. I don't think, no, looking at the symbols, it did not get us any level, but we are close for a couple of levels now, so that's actually pretty nice. Next up, let's chop some yew logs and burn them at the top of the Varrock church for another hard task completion. And then a bit further on at the estate agent, we can redecorate our house with fancy stone for 25,000 coins for another hard task. And then I pre-planted this yew tree a very long time ago. If we cut it down, this might take a while. Oh, 4 logs later, we can clear the yew tree stump. We get a couple of yew tree roots, and that is another hard task completion. Let's now just make sure that we plant another one. With Smite up, we can pray at the altar at the Varrock castle for another hard task completion. And now something not in the Varrock region, but something we do need for the Varrock diary. And we are here in the Piscatores region because we need some dashing cabbit furs. So we will have to unlock this chunk over here, which we unlocked like only a couple of chunks ago. So pretty nice to actually see that we are making full use of our map here. With the 2 dashing cabbit furs we just caught, we can buy 1 spottier cape from the fancy dress seller for another task completion. Oh, we also need to wear it. Yes, there we go. Hard task completed in the Varrock area. Now there's only 1 left and we also need to do a detour for this one. With a change of spell book, we are going to the magics, ancient magics, and then we need to cast a Padawa teleport. And that will be the last task we need to do to complete the hard tasks in the Varrock area. Now let's get to Toby and Varrock. Well, with this spellbook it's quite annoying, so I'm not really sure if we should just go directly back and change the spellbook or not, but we can walk there I guess. Asking Toby for our reward, and we get an upgraded Varrock armor together with another antique lamp. The Varrock armor now gives a 10% of mining 2 ores at once up to adamant and a 10% of smelting 2 bars at once up to adamant when using the Edgewell furnace. We will get 60 battle staves instead of 30 at Zaf, and we can now use the bank at the cooking guild. Okay, that's our closest bank to a range now, so that's actually very nice. Those are the rewards. Now let's use the lamp on Herblore, of course. That's actually going to give us a level with 15,000 Herblore experience. We're now level 82. I've also had a look at the Elite Diary for Varrock, and we're actually quite far away for those ones. We need 90 Herblore, so even with the boost, we still need 3 levels. We need Dream Mentor, which is quite a while away, because we still do not have the Lunar Isle chunks. And then 89 Smithing, well, we are almost 80. This is probably the easiest one out of all of these. And then we also need 78 Rune Crafting, so that's 16 levels. So yeah, in general, this is one of the more harder ones to get all of the requirements for. But we have completed the hard diary for the Varrock area. That's another task completion for our account. So let's go back to the dashboard, complete it over there, and then let's see which chunk we are going to get. From not being able to do any of the diaries, we've unlocked a massive amount of quests, and that has shot up our amount of diaries done quite a bit. And now it's time to complete the Varrock Hard Diary. That was our 14th diary for our 388 chunk. And then back to the map we go. The last chunk we unlocked was the bottom part of the Tar Swamp. Not that useful in the grand scheme of things, but it did clear up another chunk on the far right side of our map. We still have a little part of an island left, a little part of Litkin left, and one more chunk from the Damon's Crater, together with one part of the desert. So we are starting to clear up the right side of the map. Most of the things we are left with are on the left. So let's see which one we are going to get. One more for just the completion of our map, or something more to do. Let's see. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh. I guess we are going to do some more questing. Trollwise Mountain. If I am correct, we can now do the Troll Romance quest. And we might actually be able to do the quest for Wise after that. I'm not really sure what the prerequisites are for the Wise chunks, but we can definitely do the Troll Romance quest. So in general, very happy. And wait, this is probably also now possible to do the next quest in the Arav quest line, because we unlock this here as well, like the entrance to the castle is here. So I think this is actually a bigger chunk than I imagined it was going to be. I think now we can like do like 2, maybe 3 quests more. So yeah, our questing spree is definitely not at an end. Now that we have the ancient spellbook available, it's quite annoying to actually go and get the spellbook every time. So what I am going to do is, if we look to the construction skill, if we go to level 80, we can make an ancient altar, which lets us freely switch between ancient magics and the normal spellbook. It is level 80 though, we are only level 75, but with a boost that should be no problem at all. And if we look at the materials we need limestone bricks, magic stone. Those two we can just buy at the stonemason in Keldegrim, which we unlocked not so long ago. So this is quite perfect in the way we unlock things. The ancient signet is something I already collected from Eblis. And then we have a Pharaoh's scepter that we are still left with. For that we need to do the pyramid plunder here in Sophenham. It might take a while to actually get it, but I think this is quite worth it to go and get that unique there. So let's head to the pyramid. We are 75 thieving at the moment. We can normally do like a lot of rooms, but not all. Yes, we can do up to room 6. That should be more than enough. And there is the first level. Level 76 thieving. We are about 24% of the way to get one scepter. So let's hope it doesn't take like another 1 to 2 levels. Oh, yes! There's the Pharaoh Scepter. That took us... I think we were like just below 40%, so I'm not really sure what that means. I think you are at the drop rate at about like 50 to 60%. But yeah, never mind that. We finally got our Pharaoh Scepter. We're going to use this in our house, and I would really love one to actually teleport around the desert, but I'm not gonna do this again. But Pharaoh Scepter obtained. Let's get the boost as we need level 80 to make the actual room. And we cannot boost with Saw for that, so that's gonna be a little annoying, but just glad we got it. Hey, we got the boost on the third try. Amazing. Achievement gallery before my boost runs out. And then altar space. Ancient altar. Ah, I don't have my saw and hammer with me. Come on. Come on, before the boost runs out and we don't have enough with the crystal saw. Come on. Let's build it. Yes, there we go. Ancient altar built in the house. And now, if we venerate here, we're back to the normal spellbook. Oh, that's so much better. Actually, not as easy to get to your house when you're on the ancient spellbook. I had to walk to Falador to the bank and back, so yeah. Happy to have that built, and now we can finally continue with getting more chunks instead. With Desert Treasure now complete, a whole world opens up for us, and I don't mean that figuratively, I actually mean this literally. With the Ring of Visibility, we can now see a whole different world. The next thing we are going to do is Curse of the Empty Lord, the mini quest, and to start the quest we need to talk to this ghost, which we cannot see if we were not wearing the Ring of Visibility. This mysterious ghost is called Renard, and he is a follower of Saradomin. A very long time ago, he managed to stumble onto a god artifact, the Staff of Armadale, and as he is a Saradominist follower, he was going to take that to Saradomin himself. But before he got to Entrana and could give it to Saradomin, he was robbed by a guy named Renard. He does not know why he is actually cursed after being killed by Renard, but he asks us to see if it has anything to do with the Staff of Armadale and to check up on Renard himself. As a reward for us going there, he already gave us a ghostly robe, and he also mentioned that Renard would be at a pirate place where a lot of shipwrecked pirates were, so we are going to go to the wilderness for this one. After Renard took the weapon, he decided to sell it to a guy that knew another god, but the messenger actually contacted Zamorak instead of the other god, and the go-between was Karim, and that the next person we are going to have a chat with, as Renard seems to have the same affliction or the same curse as the other guy had. As a reward for talking to him, we got some ghostly gloves, and Karim can be found at the Chaos Temple. Well, yeah, that was to be expected. We got attacked. And it seems like the Ring of Visibility is lost upon that, which just makes this really annoying. We're going to have to go back there and hope we don't get attacked again, because if every time we need to go and get our Ring of Visibility back, this is just going to be so annoying. After talking to the messenger Karim, he tells a bit of it. Yeah, of course there's another fucking PKer. This is a very bad spot to put a quest NPC there, but oh yeah, fuck off, we need to get another Ring of Visibility. This is gonna be a very long quest. But anyway, Karim was mentioning that, well, he was the messenger and he gave the message to Zamorak to give him the weapon when he was still mortal. The sale went through, everything went well, he got a nice chunk of change because he did the referral. A very big event happened afterwards, but he was not there to see it. He did talk about a Saradomin spy called Lenissa, and she should have seen everything that happened with the Staff of Armadale, and she should have the same affliction as the other people. Talking to Lenicia, she was indeed a spy for Saradomin in the camp of the Empty Lord, a deity she does not want to name. And when she heard the Staff of Armadyl was stolen and being offered to him, she could not let that happen, as if he would get that weapon, he would be able to rule the world, as all of the other gods would not be able to oppose him. She did not give word to Saradomin himself, but she gave the message to Dalak, a mage that was also aligned with Saradomin. It does seem that Dalak did not give the message to Saradomin, so we'll have to find him to see what actually happened. After talking to Dalak, he actually decided not to tell Saradomin, as Zamorak was trying to overthrow the Empty Lord, and because they were fighting, he thought it would benefit Saradomin, and he actually helped them by concealing the power of the Staff of Armadyl so they could get close enough to the Empty Lord to actually kill him. We got a ghostly hood from him, and we got the robe from Lenissa. And now the last person we need to talk to is again in the wilderness, in a hotspot in the Rogue's Castle. I really hope we don't lose another ring of visibility, but he should give us the last part of the story of why they are all so cursed. Talking to Vigora, he gives us the full story of what actually happened with the Staff of Armadyl. The story is as we already know. The staff was stolen, the staff was then bought by Zamorak and his henchmen, and they were planning to overthrow Zaros, the Empty Lord. And with the Staff of Armadyl in their possession, they actually did it. The staff impaled both the Empty Lord, Zaros, and Zamorak, and somewhere in between that, the godness of Zaros flowed into Zamorak, and that was how Zamorak actually came into the godhood. As Zaros was dying, he muttered out a curse, so that's why the quest is called the Curse of the Empty Lord. So he uttered a curse that everybody that helped Zamorak get the Staff of Armadyl would get cursed, and as all of the people that were cursed were only human, it seems, the other people or other races were not affected, only the humans there. Vigora did not give us any clue on actually how to break free from the curse, so that's where this mini quest ends, with the ghostly cloak now acquired. If we now have a look at our mini quest list, the Curse of the Empty Lord is fully green, which means we have completed the mini quest. And it's been a while since we've done a mini quest, so that's really nice to see that we've completed another one. Another completion of those is another task completion. So let's go back to the dashboard, complete it over there, and let's see our next chunk. Alright, we're not going back to our dashboard just yet, as you can see the map has some new chunks. So the Vorlamore Part 3 update has finally hit, and we have a bunch of new chunks we can unlock. And this is pretty much the map I'm using to know how many actual landmass chunks there are. So we are currently at, what is this, 602 landmass chunks we need to unlock. Let's maybe start with the newly added Men of Foes. This is going to add 1, 2, 3, and 4 chunks. So that's not all that bad, that's only 4 chunks, and we're probably going to get a bunch of unlocks here as well because of all of the quests, and I'm not really sure what they are planning here, but I imagine this is going to be worth it. But that's 4 chunks added to our total, and then we go over to the Vorlamore part of things. And then let's see. There's one over here which is still water, which is kind of nice to see. But then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's actually not that bad. So 18 chunks from Vorlamore Part 3 plus the 4 from Men of Foes. So that's 22 extra chunks for a new end goal of 624 chunks we need to unlock. Oh, wait. There's one more. There's a very smidgen of land over here. So that's making it 23. So now that our counter is updated, we can go back to our dashboard. I have also added all of the new things because with a new update there is also a very big amount of things we can do. First of all, I added the Doom of Mokhailtl for 1 KC, 50 KC, 100 and 250 KC. It seems like you only get 1 KC when you do a delve of level 8. I'm not really sure if this is going to be possible with this account, but it's still quite far away, so maybe in the future we'll know if we need to modify this or not. Because for example, for Hesperi, this is a time-gated boss. We have a smaller amount of KC that we need to get there, so maybe we might do the same thing there. But for now, we have added 4 tasks in that section here. Then we just did a mini quest, but actually there's a new mini quest called Veil Totems, so that's 1 more extra over there. And then for the quests themselves, we have added 3, one of which is Scrambled, the other is Shadows of Custodia, and then the last one is the Final Dawn, so that's 3 more quests. So if we go back to the dashboard overview and if we go to the mini quests, Curse of the Empty Lord, if we complete that we will see a lot of things changing. We will first of all see that this is our 12th mini quest we completed, so now a maximum of 19, and then we got 4 added to the boss tasks, 3 added to the quests, and then 1 added to the total chunks we unlocked, and 23 extra to the end goal for the account. And then back to the map we go. As we pretty much have everything unlocked in the desert area, we will have to modify our map to have 4 more rollable chunks, which will take us up to 61 possible chunks we can roll. The chunks on the other side of the map aren't that important just yet, as we are really far away from them. So there's 4 more options for us to roll. They aren't great because they won't do anything for us right about now, but we still have quite a bit of things to do on the account, so I wouldn't really mind rolling one of those. But let's see what the chunk is going to be. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, starting with a water chunk, but the water chunk is not a landmass chunk, so let's try that again. Let's pick a chunk. Oh yes, okay, that's a very dead chunk. I don't even think we can walk here, but it is a landmass, so we need to unlock it, so I don't really mind. After we completed Desert Treasure 1, we also got a letter, an important letter, talking about in the dungeon in Trollheim, so the God Wars dungeon, that there is a door that was sealed long ago by the leaders of 4 armies. And if we kill one of each, we should get a piece of the key from each of them. When we then assemble the key, we can actually open the door. This is the start for the Frozen Door mini quest, so that is also another way to get another chunk. And for that we do need to kill all of the God Wars bosses, and we actually haven't killed them a lot. We've killed Commander Ziliana once for the chunk. We did the same thing at General Grardor. At Kriara we also only have 1 KC, and at Krill pretty much the same. So we don't really have many KC there, and we will definitely have to go back there to, on the one hand, get some upgrades for our account, and on the other hand, there's still a lot of chunks there to get. So let's just get a couple of kills on each boss until we get all of the key pieces, so we can actually complete the mini quest, and then let's see what happens. Well, that's the first try, and that really did not go well. This is annoying. We were so close to killing General Grardor, but yeah. Let's try again, I guess. 57 HP this time. Did not get the kill as well. Maybe we need to do something about the gear, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna do one of the other bosses first. Alright, at least we can kill Kree. And we get the frozen key piece. Okay, it's not guaranteed, it's like a 1 in 3, so I'm really glad that we actually get it. Although this would probably be the boss where I wouldn't mind if it took a bit longer. Hey, and we also get the frozen key piece at 1kc at Zeliana. Also a fairly easy one to actually get. Now the two difficult bosses remain. Oh, okay. I got destroyed. Fun. Well, this is definitely not going well. Okay, finally we got him down. And we get the piece. Okay, that's great. I kind of forgot my prayer potion, so this, yeah. God Wars is definitely not our place to be with the current state of the account. But 3 out of 4 pieces, let's now just get that last Bandos piece. I think we just have to be a little lucky on our hits. Oh, come on. He was 13 HP. Yeah, this one isn't happening. Jesus Christ, this is difficult. I think we really noticed that we don't have piety on this account, but like this is just crazy that Grardor is so tanky and like we can't even get a kill. Yes! We actually did it. With a bit of help with the Dragon Mace, we get the Frozen Key Bandos. Jesus Christ, that was difficult. Well, now we have all 4 key pieces. It's time to finally assemble the entire key. So let's assemble and we have a nice frozen key. Time to go open the door and finish this mini quest. 1 frozen door. Let's open it. Oh, and we actually get an NPC here. The spirit talked that we opened the door that we should not have opened. We were brought here with the promise of some treasure, but instead we opened the door for next one of Zaros's commanders. But in doing so, we did complete the mini quest, the frozen door. And because we unlocked next, that's also immediately what I'm going to do next, is to get the 1kc there, because in a mass world, this is much easier to get KC than with all of the other God Wars bosses. So in that regard, let's get that 1kc here, and then if we look to our combat tasks, we are at 123. We need 125 to get another chunk, and usually when you do next masses, it's extremely fast, but there also are like 11 combat tasks, so we should get a lot of things here. Like the first one is already kill next one, so that's 1 we need. If we get 1 more, kill next without anyone dying, yeah, that's most likely going to happen. Like this should be very easy. So after we kill next for the 1kc, that's 1 chunk. With combat tasks, that would be 2 chunks, and then because we did the mini quest, that's going to be 3 chunks we are going to unlock at once. Alright, that's going to be our first next down. Let's see if we actually get rewarded or not, because I'm not really sure if we did enough damage. Yes, we actually did. Holy shit, that's a lot of combat achievements. So we got 1kc, which is amazing. That's another chunk. Then we got There Is No Escape, Contain This, Shadows Move, Next Survivor, and Next Veteran. That's 5 combat tasks we got. That's actually amazing. Let's actually see what they were. So we got the kill next ones, kill next without anyone dying. That was to be expected. And then we got Contain This, kill next without anyone taking damage from any ice special attacks. Yeah, that's great. Kill next without anyone being hit by the smoke dash attack. Okay, that's also great. I just think next didn't have the time to do all of these attacks. And then the last one was kill next without anyone being hit by the shadow smash attack. Yep, that were 5 extremely easy combat tasks completed. And this was also very fast to get that KC, like it was, what, 122. It took longer to get the KC to actually get in there than to actually get all of this. Alright, let's start at the start. For mini quests, we have, wow, this list is so empty. And we are going to make it even more empty. The Frozen Door mini quest is complete. That was our 13th mini quest down for our 390th chunk. Then our boss KC, we killed Nex once for our 75th boss task and our 391st chunk. And now the last one, we managed to get up to 125 combat tasks, so let's complete that over here. And that marks our 25th combat achievement task and our 392nd chunk. And then for our 3 chunk rolls, let's have a look. I really wouldn't mind getting some of the dead chunks here at the right of our map, or the new Menefos chunks. I'm pretty much happy with anything now. So let's see what we get for the first chunk. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, perfectly what I asked for. The user oasis. I'm actually not sure what this building here is for. I'm not really sure if this is part of the Desert Treasure 2 quest, but we unlocked it, I guess. Let's see, what is chunk number 2 going to be? Let's pick a chunk. Oh, on the entirely other side, we're getting closer to the Pirate's Cove, but this is a full water chunk, so that is a reroll, as we only want the landmass chunks. Chunk number 2 is actually going to be... Let's pick a chunk. Another water chunk, okay. Third time's going to be the charm. Let's pick a chunk. Ah, there we go. Another piece of the Isle of Souls. I am not so familiar with what the Isle of Soul all has. I'm imagining there's some crabs here, maybe, as there is some beach-like property here. But I don't think we'll ever set foot here. I think the only thing here in Soul Wars that is actually useful for us is the 2 steps for the elite clues on both sides of the island, and then the Soul Wars lobby to actually be able to get some rewards there. But yeah, okay. We can now unlock one more of the Isle of Souls. There's still like a good 10 chunks here, so we're making some good progress there. And then we have one left. Let's pick our last chunk. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, no. That's also still a water chunk. We have a massive amount of water chunks we can roll. I'm not really surprised that we keep rolling water chunks, but let's try again. Let's pick a chunk. Ah, and there we have the last chunk of Privdinus, which unlocks like another sliver of land here. But Privdinus is, on the one hand, this is actually an instanced area, so we don't really need the overworld part of this map. Maybe just if we want to get out of here to get to Gwyneth for the Master Clue step. But on the other hand, we still do not have access to the entire Terranwind part, because we still do not have the one chunk below the Fishing Guild. So yeah, 3 not so good chunks, but I don't really mind. We still have so much to do. And that's where we are going to end today. A bit of a long episode, but the unlocks were well worth it, as the ancient spellbook opens up so many more things for us to do. We still have much to look forward to, and the mainland is almost entirely unlocked, so the account is cruising at top speed right now. To know where we are going to go next, have a look out for the next episode, and for now, have a great day, and see you all later.